today. And today is Sunday, March the 23rd. Um, every Sunday we have this call, and which is evolved from this book, Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer. And uh, some of you well, first of all, I want to welcome back all the people who went to Nepal. Wow, welcome back. I'm sure you've got a lot of stories to tell us, and really excited about your trip and that you had a safe journey. Um, so some of you in the audience that I see, you've been here in this community for years, and some of you have been honored with being able to actually learn from Dr. Naram himself. And then there's many others of us that have come along in the last few years and have been here more recently. So I want to welcome everybody. This is a community where we share, knowledge at these webinars from this book. We'll take a quote, we'll discuss it, and ideas will be shared. And one of the beautiful things is the connection that's made between all the people. And it's just a beautiful connection we all have. And really everything here is based in love. And that's the foundation, I think, of this community. Everybody will have their idea of what, is their idea and their belief. But I really believe, it's a focus on our heart, on love, on health and wellness. And it's just exciting to be here. And I'm honored to be here with you all. Today we have Katie. You can wave in the screen. She's going to be co-hosting and sharing some announcements. Deborah Ann, please give everybody a wave and so they can see you. And we'll do a detox update. Esther, she's the wonderful welcomer and who will be welcoming new people today. And Robin and Cornelia are our amazing tech people who are in the background making all this possible. So thank you to them. Brett is here today. Hey, Brett. He will be doing marmas later for us. And marmas, for those of you who may not know, they're what we've learned in this community from Dr. Marma and the lineage, and Dr. Marma, Dr. Naram and the lineage. And it's like acupressure points in a sense, sort of like that. But Brett will tell you all about it and show you some great marmas. And our agenda will basically be, we're going to welcome some new people. We're going to do announcements and updates. Robin will share a disclaimer. At that point, we'll do a meditation. Brett will do the marmas, and then we'll get into the quote of today, which is make your work like a prayer. Doing work you love keeps you feeling young no matter your age. And so that'll be what we do. And go ahead, Esther, if you want to welcome. Are you ready to welcome the new people? Or if you're new, please put that in the chat.
Oops, sorry. I don't know if you heard that big bump. The cat jumped on the table and it hit the floor. So we had some percussion with welcoming, and we're welcoming Derek today for the first time. And Derek, yeah, is invited by Belle. So Belle, thank you. Derek, would you like to say something to us about, we're so glad you're here. We'd love to know what you have to on your heart to share this
Oh, thank
whatever
you.
time of the day. Where are you? Where are you located now?
In Ashland, and
Ah,
that's how I came upon Bell in the last weeks, I guess, in a couple of months. I'm a healer, participating in the healing of the world and of my own heart, and I love to sing and do music, and that's one of the ways me and Bella got connected. So I'm going to be playing harp this morning at our little community, and then this evening I have a concert. So I just came to hear what you all are bringing to the world. I love sound healing, and I use my voice and my heart to just open to that flow. So I'm just real honored to be here.
wow.
And he introduced me to SoundCloud at his little concert on Friday, and you can go to SoundCloud and put in Derek Tender Song Washington, and you'll see why I thought he belongs, knowing about this community, coming and bringing us a musical interlude at some point into our Sunday morning calls. So I invited him to come, and thank you, Derek, for coming and joining us this morning.
Wow. Maybe we have a custom here, which is that we put our hands together and then we send energy from our heart. And how about if we give Derek Tender Song, I Love Your Name. Oh my gosh. A beautiful, beautiful welcome, because it's really obvious that you resonate with us and we resonate with you. And what a beautiful addition you are.
Thank you so much. Thank you. My passion is regenerative intimacy, discovering the ways that life loves to be lived by those loving to live life.
Ah,
And when that cycle happens, it's beautiful.
uh, indeed. Beautiful phrasing of that. Thank you. Is there anyone else that hasn't yet introduced himself on the chat that's new here? If you raise your hand and let us know, we would love to welcome you also. And or later as you come on, if somebody comes on, you're welcome to then. So,
All
if
right.
everyone would like to put in the chat, uh, we something that inspires you from your heart, and you're anything referring to the theme today of one of my favorite words is plurk. Plork. I didn't create it, but I love it. And it's the synthesis and the bringing together, the synergy of play and work, or play with prayer, whatever inspires us that way. And
Like,
you put in your name and where you're from, we love it. And something that inspires you, maybe. Oops, this one inspires me. Okay, take it away.
all right. So, Katie, do you have some announcements for us? Up your mic.
I do. Yep. Um, so I think most of you know these already, but the upcoming Sedona Unstoppable Love event, now is the time, is June 10th, 11th, and 12th in Sedona. And there will be pulse clinics available before that, June 5th, 6th, and 8th. Not sure what happened to the 7th, but June 5th, 6th, and 8th. And also in Sedona on June 9th, so the day before the celebration actually officially begins at 7 p.m. is the celebration of the 3-year path graduates, which will be very exciting to get to congratulate them on their huge accomplishment of completing that program. There also will be pulse clinics available in Spain, if you're fortunate enough to be there, April 24th and 25th. The 30-day detox, I believe, has begun, and Deborah Ann can talk about that if she wants to. Congratulations to those of you who are starting. It's such a good thing to do for yourselves, especially the beginning of spring, to clear yourselves out and be ready for what's coming next. We do have the self-guided 7-day detox is available, and also as a self-guided course are the Ancient Secrets 101 program and the 100-day experience. And I hope we will have links to those for people who want more information about that. And that's all I've got today, except welcome back to the people who were in Nepal. It just sounds like an amazingly fabulous trip. And I'm so glad to be here with all of you. It's really good to see everybody.
It's good to see you too, Katie. Thank you so much. Deborah Ann, what do you
Thank you.
have for us in terms of detox
Thank you,
updates?
Ariona. Thank you, Katie. Yes, and welcome back to everyone from Nepal. So happy to have you back. Boy, just happy to know that we're going to get little tidbits along the way from what you all experienced. So the detox, the 30-day detox, we had our introduction meeting on Friday. Today is our official start date. And like everything else in life, not everybody starts today, but we meet, and we will be meeting during these 30 days and bringing you not only the welcoming the ones who are here that are part of that program. We actually do not only connect, but we have an opportunity to share with you some of the secrets of ancient secrets that we've learned along the way, and kind of get you familiar with the terminologies if you're not familiar with Ayurveda and Siddhaveda, because they are distinct and they're all part of the same tradition. But there's so much we get to share, and the intimacy that we develop is so delightful, as are these Sunday calls. And so that's what I will leave with you today. Thank you, Ariona.
Thanks, Deborah. I just wanted to say too, I mean, detox is such a wonderful thing, and the fact that you've been heading up these groups is so fantastic. It's rather recent, really. I think it just started this year, right? Or 2024. And wow, it's really a wonderful thing because you've got the group for all that support. And Deborah Ann is just a wonderful person, and I'm sure those are just wonderful. So thank you.
Thank you.
Sedona, also, I just wanted to say, wow, if any of you haven't gone and to that retreat or any retreat with this community, those retreats are so wonderful. I went to the last two, and a lot of the people, I see your faces on the screen. I think a lot of you've already gone to the retreats, but if you haven't, I can't talk about it enough, because it just is so wonderful to be face to face in 3D with people that we love and we've had such a connection with virtually. So I just wanted to make that comment. Other than that, I guess we'll move on to Robin. Do you have the disclaimer that you'd like to put up? Do you have a graphic or anything you'd like to put up for that, or nope? Okay. Does anyone want to mention the disclaimer? Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll do my best at it. Basically, the disclaimer is simply, saying that we offer a lot of knowledge and education here, and wonderful, wonderful knowledge and information. And just like anything, we don't take liability for, we don't take responsibility for that. You need to always consult with your doctor and find out, if that's the thing that is for you to do. And have I kind of summed it up, everybody, as best as I can? That was about as best as I could do on that one. Anyway, all right. Well, what I'd like to do, or what I think would be wonderful to do, is to go into a meditation where we drop down, and most of you know we do that in different ways in this community. And today we're just going to do a meditation, and Robin is going to bring up some music here in a moment, and then it'll be a guided meditation. So before the music comes on, get situated where you're comfortable. If you're in a chair, feet on the floor, sit up straight so that your spine is nice and straight. And just be comfortable, be as comfortable as you can. You can lie down if you want, just keep your awareness so you don't totally fall asleep. And what we'll do is we'll shut our eyes and just, start to relax. And we're going to start taking some deep breaths when the music comes on. Here we go. See you in a few minutes. So go ahead and take a deep breath in. Out for 4. Hold it for 2. And let it out for 4. Actually, let it out for 6. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 2. Out for 6. And a deep breath in. Breathe from your belly. Just deep breath. And then hold it and let it all out, huh? And as you breathe, really get aware of this beautiful oxygen that you're breathing in that sustains your whole body. And breathe it in and let it circulate to all your cells. And then let it out. Continue to breathe deeply. And what we're going to do, we're going to focus on the top part of our head. And imagine this beautiful, beautiful purple flower that's opening up. It's a massive flower. And it just opens up. And as you do that, see it clearly in your mind. And take a deep breath in. And breathe out. And imagine this beautiful, beautiful golden light outside of your body, almost like an energy grid of golden light. And it just is coming through the top of that beautiful purple flower, and it's coming into your body. You can see it as a golden liquid. You can see it as golden starlight. You can see it as glitter. However you see it, it's this beautiful golden light. And just imagine it swirling above your head, and it's connected to everything. And it comes down as you breathe. And breathe in. Breathe it in through the top of your head. And feel it. Feel it move through your head, through your brain, that beautiful brain of yours. Feel it move through there. And as it's moving through there, it's lighting up all the cells. And you feel it. It's almost like melted honey moving down. So relaxing. And it moves down through your neck. All your muscles begin to fully relax. Your shoulders, they fully relax. Such a healing balm, this light. It travels down through your arms, your elbows, your fingers. Everywhere it goes, it's lighting up your cells. It's moving down, still, through your chest, your beautiful lungs. Take a deep breath in again. Moves through your lungs, and everything it touches, it heals. It's all those cells at rest. They relax and they take in the light. And now it moves down through your whole abdomen, your digestive system, your stomach, your intestines, your colon, your pancreas, your spleen. All of the organs, kidneys, liver, gallbladder. That light is just moving through everything. On down to your hips. Through your legs. Your beautiful legs, your knees, your calves. All the way down your feet. And you feel these golden roots under your feet that go into the Mother Earth, and you feel Mother Earth and her beauty. And now you feel an intermingling of Mother Earth and the golden light as we travel back up the body, this energy, united, one. We come into our hearts. We feel our hearts like a golden sun, radiating radiating love, radiating light. Take a deep breath in. This gift of life. And now, if you will, if you have a place in your body that you've been working on healing, let's go there. Go to that place. If you want to just do your whole body, continue to do that. But if you have a certain place that you really want to see healed right now, let's take that golden light and see it there. See it there, radiating. Breathe in and out. Feel the peace there. Feel the peace. I banish all ill health from my body. We banish all ill health from our bodies. We radiate love, light, and joy from every single cell in our body. We do this now. And so it is. Just sit for a moment, take a deep breath in, and just feel your body right now in silence. When you're ready, very gently feel your body again, the skin on the outside of your body. Feel the air around it. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. I just see all your beautiful faces on the screen. So, Brett, are you here? Are you ready to do some marmas?
Thank you,
Let's see.
Ariana.
There you
That
are.
was that was thank you, Ariana. That was absolutely lovely. I could have sit in that space for quite a bit longer. Hey, lovely and wonderful people. My name's Brett Causey. I was introduced to Marmas this past year during the 100-day experience. And I'm so very grateful that they have become a daily rhythm for me. Not just for me, but also for my almost 10-year-old son. And for time's sake, we'll just jump in and rather than give a big explanation of Marma's, it's best to experience if you haven't experienced before, I think. If you will, we're going to start with a forgive and let go Marma. So there's a fleshy part of your left hand in between your index finger and your thumb where we're going to squeeze 6 times, which I'll facilitate. And as you do, you also get to put a kind of a red box over your left eye. And oftentimes intuitively, what you need to let go kind of comes to your mind. For me, this marma is what I often use when I know I'm angry, either at myself or somebody, or I'm resentful. If I'm feeling insecure, those negative emotions are often what I use this marma for. So as we begin, and since we are going to move fairly fast through several marmas, But I'll facilitate that, and so grateful to get to participate with you guys today. So this is right here, and we're gonna do it 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I often, when I do the marma, particularly this particular one, I journal oftentimes what I'm letting go, and just see a pattern as I heal, and so forth and so on. Let's jump into the next marma immediately. This is the self-love marma. This is your earlobes. The experience that I often find is joy when I do this. So you squeeze your earlobes and you slightly pull them down. And I cannot tell you how many times I do that before a meeting, or if I need to feel confident, or if I just want to be encouraged as a pretty good parent and friend. So let's do this. We're going to squeeze our earlobes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I often, after that particular one, I often feel an energetic kind of release, which is kind of fun. Let's jump right into a marma that targets our anxiety and panic. It's one we use often in this community, and I'm so grateful for it. Not only for me, but my precious boy, who's almost 10, his name's Caden. He gets overwhelmed in really big crowds, and we have used. He's empathic. He feels and senses and learns. I mean, he can walk in a room and read people already. It's wild. But he gets overwhelmed, and this particular marma has helped his overwhelm be much less. And so I know that's really fun for me. So if you need to support the back of your head or your neck, you can. And this marma is under the nose and above the upper lip. And again, we're going to do this 6 times. And when you press in, you inhale. And when you move your hand away, you exhale. And we'll do this 6 times together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Ooh, doesn't that feel good?
Oh, yeah.
And let's jump directly into the next one. And this is Dr. Naram described it as being more peaceful, present, and focused. And this is right between your eyebrows where your third eye is. And again, it's pressing 6 times. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That feels good to me. Nicely done. We only have a couple left. And this next one may not be for everyone, although I do believe that if you have a healthy heart, this would still benefit you. So participate as you desire. I have been on high blood pressure medication for almost 8 years until the last 6 weeks. And I consider this marma and the couple herbal remedies that I've been using are the reason why I'm able to have a normal blood pressure without the medication. So this is very personal to me, and I share it. Some of you, it might benefit your heart, but I guarantee you, every single one of us probably has someone in our friends and family group that is having heart-related issues. And this marma is you take your right thumb and you put it right in the middle of your. Sorry, you take your left thumb and put it in the right in the middle of your left palm, and wrap your four fingers around it. And you kind of make a little heart-looking shape. And you put your left middle finger touching your right thumb. And again, the rhythm is 6 times. We're going to squeeze both of our hands. And the way I was taught is you squeeze and then kind of release, and then squeeze and release. And I'm going to do that and facilitate that for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I forgot to mention that rhythm of squeezing is supposed to mimic our own heartbeat as well. Just something to consider as you do that. And lastly, one of the favorite ones in this community is the I want Marma. We love it. I want more of it. I'll share very briefly during the 100-day experience that Deborah Ann and Cornelia and Carol Ray and Katie facilitated. I was listening to an audio that Dr. Clint had. He was just sharing his story. A lot of what he's written in his book, but he was just sharing how he met Dr. Naram, and he introduced Dr. Naram to his dad, and then he started traveling with Dr. Naram, and he was documenting and interviewing and writing down so much of what he observed and saw, and I don't fully know what Dr. Clint was experiencing personally and emotionally in that time, but he said something that struck me so deeply. It resonated with my heart. He said he woke up one morning, and his words were, he said, "I woke up one morning and I felt spontaneously happy."
Mm.
And that resonated so deeply with the previous year I experienced. So that during the 100-day experience this past spring and summer, I started doing the I want Marma. I want to be spontaneously happy. And I have done that so many times since then as well. It's part of my daily rhythm. So when we do the I want Marma, we place a kind of a white box over our right eye, and intuitively you may know something that you want. But if you don't have anything that comes to mind immediately, I would suggest that a little spontaneous happiness might be in order. And that's what I'm going to do right now as well. So when this will be our last Marma, and then we're done, we'll pat ourselves, say wonderful job to each of us, and we'll move forward. But thanks for doing this with me. So this is the right index finger. We take the tip of our right index finger and we squeeze it 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you, dear people.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. I love the spontaneous happiness. I love it. I love it. Thank you.
Honor.
Yeah, no, I just really loved it. Okay. Well, now we get to dive into the quote. And the quote is, "Make your work like a prayer. Doing work you love keeps you feeling young, no matter your age." So I always love when I find these quotes in the book. This book is so awesome. You can use this book like, you're like, okay, what do I want to do? And you go, and you open up and you go, whoa, look, there's the quote I want to do. I just love that. And that's kind of what happened. Is like, okay, oh yeah, that looks, it was perfect. And so, yeah, I thought a lot about this quote after I just was like, okay. And I looked at it and I'm like, okay. And something I like to do, words are very interesting to me sometimes, because all of us have, all our unique lives, our experiences, our unique brains that are perceiving things in unique ways, right? And so words so often we all look at slightly differently, or even through time, words get different meanings, right? And so when I looked at the first sentence, "Make your work like a prayer," there were 2 words, of course, that stuck out. One was work and one was prayer. And I'm like, okay, well, work. It's interesting, right? You say the word work, what comes up for you? It's like, everybody might have a slightly different impression of what work is, right? I mean, you take modern society, for example, and a lot of the population a lot of times gets stuck in, the 8 to 5, the routine every day. And Monday, oh my God, Monday, I have to go to work, or I have to get up and I have to work, and there's this whole belief system and attitude that sometimes comes in with that, right? I don't know about you guys, but I know I went through an early part of my life where I would go, oh my God, I got to go to work. And I even had a job at one point where I actually felt nauseous in the morning. It was a sales job. I was just cold calling leather products like purses and things, and I hated it. Um, but a lot of times you do work and you need to pay the bills, you know, and that's all part of what we've all do it. And the point I'm making is that there's a way of framing work, right? You can see it that way, and some people do. You could do that same work and you could make your work like a prayer, right? And so let's look at the word prayer. Prayer for me, anyway, is something, it's sacred. There's a sacredness to it, there's a mindfulness to it, there's a being really present to prayer. You're present, you're mindful, you're connected, right? You're connected to God, to the universe, whatever you want to call that. You're connected to that one in that moment of prayer. And so when you make your work like a prayer, it becomes sacred, you know, like you might have a prayer in the morning, like I do a meditation. Sometimes I'll say,
That's old.
you know, huh? Oh, I heard
Bea,
somebody.
you can't say hello. He's taking a shower.
Is there something on there that I'm hearing? Anyway, okay. Um, so back to the idea of prayer. For example, in the morning, like I wrote a little thing down that I sometimes say, today I want to shine love and light and joy into the world. I want to serve. Um, I want to do my job 100%. Whatever I'm doing, I want to give that 100%. Like Dr. Naram was taught with the toilets, where you had to clean these toilets over and over and over and over to get the lesson to really be present and it's sacred, that work, and he taught him the sacredness of that, and putting in that 100% and seeing the beauty in each moment, and being really present. So when you do any work, it can be just like that. And I just thought, yeah, anyway. So second sentence, doing work you love keeps you young, no matter your age. So the words that stuck out, of course, there's work, love, young, and age. I wanted to focus on young for a minute, you know. So what does young really mean? And what does age really mean? I mean, it's fascinating when you really look at these things. And, so age can be a number of years that we've inhabited this body, which is a gift. It can be just a number, right? It's a number. It's the age, how long we've been in this body this time around. Then there's biological age. Biological age isn't the same as your actual age. Biological age is biological age. What's happening in your body biologically? Somebody could be 80 years old and biologically they're 60. Someone could be 115 and biologically they're 80. Or someone could be 140, like in the lineage, and biologically, they're 60. And so this whole idea of age, it's an illusion, in a sense, right? Depending on what perspective we're coming from. You find somebody who's in their 20s and you ask them, well, so what is young? And they say, oh, well, let's see, young is somebody who's in their teens, and then you talk to someone who's 70 or 80, And you say, what's young? And they say, oh, 70 is young, you know. And what I love about this community is, we're all youthing. And I love that concept. We're all youthing. And another thing is, how do we frame how do we frame the amount of time we're living? What's that perspective? I mean, is the amount of time we're living, like our civilization a lot of the time says, oh, and the majority of the belief system is, yeah, boy, if I make it to 80 or 90, hey, that's great, and then it's expected. Well, way back when, or in these communities, there are communities all over the world where people lived over 100 years, and their system of belief was, hey, what's normal is I'm going to live to 140, or what's normal is I'm going to live to 200, and when we start reframing that, it changes everything in here. And this is important for staying young right here, in terms of how we're looking at things. So how do we stay young? I mean, Dr. Naram talks in the book a lot about, the six secret and sacred keys to health. If nobody knows what I'm talking about, if you're here and you haven't read the book, I'm going to do what Tom Brown used to call it coyote teaching, where you don't give everybody the answers. You look for them yourself, and then it helps you learn it better. But you can look these up in this book, and you'll learn that once you're in this community. And if you're not remembering right now, reread and review, because they're wonderful. The six keys to staying young. So there's reframing, uh, using those, and for me, I think youth for me is your health, your vitality, that life force that you're feeling, your aliveness, your playfulness, just that energy, and your willingness. This is a big one, I think. Your willingness to continue to change and to grow. When you stop doing that, that can kind of freeze your system and freeze frame you in a certain place. So doing work you love keeps you young no matter your age. I'll end my little portion of this by just sharing a story. I'll make it quick because I really want to hear from all of you. So the career I ended up in was exactly this. It was work I loved. I had gotten to a point and I realized, what did I want to do to serve here? And I wanted to serve the earth. And because I felt like if we didn't have the earth, we wouldn't be here. So we don't take care of it, what are we going to do? And I thought, okay, that's where I want to serve. And so I literally created, spiritually and in prayer and visualization, I created a job that was perfect, where I could feel like I was serving. And so that helped me to feel young and be young. And just that, but the vibe of I can't wait to get to work in the morning, that did. And also being around young people, because I was around young people in summer, and in fall I was with young adults, and in summer I was with teens, and just being around the young people, it was contagious. And I really felt like I was always 20 years younger than I was. And I felt I even looked 20 years younger than I was. And the reason was because I was around all these kids, and I felt uplifted, and I had that kind of juice going through my body. Uh, and so that for me was really true, that doing the work I loved did help me keep feeling young. And I want to hear from you guys now. I'm done with that, but I really want to hear any comments, or I want to hear your stories. I think we all do. We want to hear everybody's stories. Everybody contributes so much in these calls, and your story is rich. And I just want to hear how anything you have to share about this quote, and anytime maybe you've had work, and it doesn't have to be paid work, right? It can be your volunteer work and how it jazzes you, and how does that keep you young? What does that do for you? So please share. Shifra,
Um,
hello.
and I thank everybody who's shared this morning, your meditation and what Brett did and what everybody's contributions. I'm sort of recovering from having let go of a very challenging relationship. And I think I did the right thing. And I think that part of the reason it's challenging is because I did a lot of work through this relationship. I did a lot of social justice work, a lot of spiritual, social justice, political work through this relationship. And so it's hard to, you kind of can confuse the fact that the fact that I did it with that person doesn't mean that that person is the source. And I would say it brings me a lot of joy. I'm a poet, and the other day I had an experience where someone, for no reason, just was like giving me the finger, and it was scary. And afterward, I made a conscious choice. There was a bunch of teenagers, and I often find teenagers, they can be a little scary, but they really weren't scary, but they can be scary. And, they were vaping and stuff. Clearly, there's a lot going on in their lives. But I said, hey, do you want to hear a poem? And so, I read them a poem. And sometimes their attention was on and sometimes it was off. But I felt really good about doing that. And that's work that I do. Or, there was a kid, and I played the harmonica for him. And at first he just looked very shy and scared. And then he was like waving goodbye and thanking me. And it's not so much that he was thanking me, but I could see that he was touched. He was touched. And so when I do that, even when I talk to strangers all the time, and when I talk to people and I connect with them, and if it feels appropriate, I'll say, do you want a hug? And that's my work. I'm sort of a rabbi minister, not with a particular religion. I may have my own beliefs, but it's not about converting someone to a particular religion, but it's about reaching out and seeing the light in people, lifting them up, and in turn being lifted up. And so that is work and play. And that's what brought me into the community, doing this on the poetry on the street, etc. And so that's it. Thanks.
That is beautiful. Yeah, I really get it. In your poetry, the way it's like this expression, it's the way that you express and you love it. And so you're sharing that part of yourself, which really is coming from pure love and light.
Right.
And you share it, and then you get to see the effect it has, which also is really satisfying,
Right.
And I remember in Sedona your first time, and the poetry, and just, awesome. Thank you for that share.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Maya, you had something to share next.
Okay. Can you see me?
Yes, absolutely. We do.
I'm in a very strange situation of seeing you and not being seen myself, but it's okay. I'm seen by everybody but me, which is maybe classical for a human being, that we don't see ourselves fully. But that's a Zoom situation that I'm still working on. So, like the rest of my life, the last few weeks were the most painful and the most joyful. I felt my age because, as you see, I have a new nose.
I was noticing that. Congratulations.
And I was bleeding.
Ooh.
I'm going to keep to my Jewish nose. I was thinking about having a nice Eskimo nose, but then decided Jewish nose. This way I can be nosy, and investigate and find things. But anyway, I was bleeding because something opened there. And the emergency came to pick me up to the ambulance. So as the emergency was coming, they told me, which is very unusual for me, you don't tell us, we tell you. When we come, if the door is not open, we'll break the door. So the emergency came from an ambulance, and they knocked on the door, and I didn't like the idea of my door being broken. So I walked up from my bed, which I shouldn't have done because of the bleeding, but I didn't have any other choice. And I walked to the room, and the blood was flowing like a river. Ooh. So by the time they put me on this is the worst. I'll come to the joy just a moment. By the time they put me on the stretcher, and they asked me, what do you need to take? I called it, it was a near death, what do you call it? Near death experience. I didn't die. I didn't go to the other side, but I was close to it. Because when they asked me, what do you want to bring? I couldn't connect the two words, cell phone, couldn't connect the word keys to the house. I couldn't make the words sweater. It was the middle of the winter. I was taking it in a t-shirt without anything. It took them 2 days in the emergency room before they were able to, without liability, to get me inside my house. And then I had to go again because of, after a few days, because of lack of iron in my things that didn't happen to me for 70 years, start to happen now because maybe some of my PTSD from being born like the children in Gaza into Jerusalem under siege and losing my parents young are showing fruit in terms of my stress in my body, despite all the work that I did and saved my life. Anyway, the joy. I was able to feel joy even in the most unpleasant experience of emergency room, when the nurses even don't have time to look at you, and even to demand things for myself, which I usually don't do, and got from them anything I needed. And I was able to sing there also, to sing Jewish song, American song, Indian song. I was basically joyful most of the time. And when I came back, I found that all this, I realized, because when you do ask, what do you want? I ask for two things, which is very similar to what Jay, what was his name? The beautiful
Brett.
guy who shared with us.
Brett.
Yeah. Yes, Brett. What you shared, Brett. I call it in more kind of sacred language, but what is this
You're breaking up,
spontaneous
Nikolai.
joy? Spontaneous joy is the kingdom of God within. Yes? You don't hear me?
Yeah.
What
Yes, now I did. Spontaneous
Brett
joy
asked
is
for
the God within.
spontaneous joy is the kingdom of heaven within. So I just talk in kind of a high language, but it's the same because when I experience the kingdom of God within, I experience spontaneous joy because that's the nature of it. I don't have to wait until they take me to some heaven. Heaven is here. So I experience more and more now, and I experience being healthier than I was before all this happened. And for the top, I went to another retreat. Hey, guys, my mountain is older than your mountain, because I'm going near the Blue Ridge Mountain, Virginia, and they've been millions of years long been shaved. And I go there. The day in Sedona will come, but I went for 8 days there, and I was experiencing more cleansing and joy. And basically, I feel very young in spirit, and I also trust that I have quite a few years, as somebody said here, on this planet to go around the sun and to fulfill myself to the point that joy will be, which is my aspiration, all day long, spontaneous joy, even in the midst
That's
of pain,
awesome.
spontaneous joy.
Thank you.
That's my
Gosh.
sharing for today. I hope I didn't speak for too long,
Wonderful.
but that
No,
was.
you did it. It's beautiful. That whole idea and, just the joy that you're feeling, and congratulations on your operation and that you came through that emergency situation like you did. And just, the God within and the joy that you feel from that. And that, you got this mindset now too of just through that joy and you're feeling it in the love. And then, you've got the reframing and you're ready to just really go for it for years here now.
One more thing, funny thing about families. My family, some people from my family here and my spiritual family ask, how am I doing? My three nephews, they say it's doing okay. They didn't even ask. They don't know yet what happened to me. I left to go to Passover, to Portugal, to tell them, hey guys, I was almost on the other side. So sometimes the family, spiritual family, is more available than the physical family. Maybe I didn't give enough to my physical family. I don't know.
It's
We'll see.
true. It's
Anyway,
true.
that's enough.
Thank you. All right, let's go to Roxanne and Anne Renee.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to add to that a little bit. There's a couple of prayers that come to mind, but one of my favorite And that is, O Lord, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me and keep me from evil, that I may not cause pain. And I follow that with affirmations. I am a wise and wonderful woman. I am
Mm.
using all of my resources. I am fulfilling my duty and my joy at the same time, because work is play and play is work. And last but not least, in our day-to-day lives, we come across people who are outwardly, visibly, either in pain of some kind or illness maybe of some kind, but almost always, even particularly in services, they will say, have a nice day, and they say it rote. There's no feeling behind it. They say, have a nice day. And I figured I had to figure out a way to how to make them feel better. And I always say, it just went blank.
I'm having a nice day.
I've already had a nice day, and
Oh, yes.
you're part of it.
Mhm.
Transformation on the face is just astounding. It's like no one ever said anything nice to them before. No one ever thanked them for their service, and they're providing all the service that you're getting. But if you can reply, I've already had a good day and you are part of it, you got to include both pieces so that they get the message. You can hear it on the telephone, you can see it in person, and you can generate that love in a way that everyone is willing to accept. Nobody's ever grumped. I don't know if that's a word, but no one's ever grumped.
It works.
No one's ever said, oh, well, that's easy enough for you to say, or anything like that. Nobody's ever done that. They always seem to accept it with gratitude. And so there's the gratitude, the love, and the attention that we can give freely to anyone and everyone, no matter of what their station.
That's beautiful. Thank you for that wisdom. That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No. Does anybody else have something to share regarding work keeping you young?
Deborah Ann had her hands up at the very beginning, so if you want to
Good.
call
I
on
didn't
her.
see it. Did I?
Okay. Thank you, Ariona. So when I read that quote, the first thing that came to mind is kind of the journey, and I've shared this here before, the journey I went through with washing dishes. I homeschooled my children. There was lots of cooking and cleaning up that they helped with, but when they were really young, I always had the dishes. And then they both started playing stringed instruments, so I still had the dishes so that they could keep the calluses on their fingertips. So part of me wanted to be doing, all the things that look glamorous to serve humanity, but which required learning and that kind of thing. But I couldn't do that because I had all these things that were my job, right? My job as a mother, my job as a teacher. But I would cry because I was missing out on life. I would cry because this was just a toil. I did not enjoy it at all until I actually, and I don't know what stimulated the change, but I actually realized that that I could be praying. I didn't have to sit straight spined and by myself in a quiet place to pray. And so I realized I could wash my dishes as a prayer. And so washing dishes from that time on became just that. It became an opportunity of praying and connecting and, being in the moment, feeling the sudsy water and how soap feels on the dishes. And I mean, it just became a delight and a joy. And all the things that I have actually railed against, which were part of my job as a mother and a wife, I turned into that, and they became moments, lots of moments throughout the day where I'm connecting with the divine and basking in the joy of being of service, of providing food or a clean house or whatever it was. So thank you for the topic.
Yeah, thank you for that share. That's beautiful, Deborah Ann. Yeah, just beautiful. And I mean, that just goes back to show no matter what you're doing, if you treat it sacred like a prayer, and it can even do prayer, it just changes it. It changes the whole activity, and it's more about the what you get from the whole prayer being present. I love it. Okay, Luke. Oh,
Yes,
and also Robin. Okay, I didn't know who was first.
in the spirit of joy, I wanted to mention the next art time that hasn't been mentioned today in the announcement. So,
Oh, thank you.
for many of you know, we have monthly beautiful event called Art Time, and each month, one of our artists in the community does this art time using certain art materials and concepts. So the next art time is April 9th. I believe it's a Wednesday, April 9th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and that's with me. And we're doing fun with drawing, where we will draw pictures and words together, intertwine words. Robin, do you happen to have my flyer from last time?
No, I don't have it pulled up. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, we should have prepared that. It is in the weekly newsletter. So just make a note. Our time is April 9th with Luke Sutton. Fun with drawing. We're going to be drawing words and pictures. And you just need colored pencils, markers, and a black felt tip pen. Everything's on the flyer, which I believe is in the newsletter. Donation, that's it. If you want to do more, you can. And it's a lot of fun. So please join us. Again, it's April 9th, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Luke. Hey, Robin, I saw your hand was up. Did you have something to share before we go out into breakout rooms?
Yes, I know it's top of the hour, so I'll make it short. I want to know because I want to share that having met the doctors in India, it's like they all have embodied that their work is a prayer, and they have so much love. And for in the medical industry, that doesn't happen in the United States. And so I just want to share, like when we do our work as a prayer, it can make a profound difference for everyone we are touching with that work. That's it.
Thank you, Robin. Yeah, I was looking to see if Vinay is here. I don't see that he's here. But I thank you for that. I'm bringing attention to that because,
Hi,
yeah,
Ariona. I'm here.
hey, it's so wonderful to have you here. Yeah, that
I'm
is exactly what Robin shared. That's how I view you, Vinay, is always, everything you are doing is a prayer, and just so appreciate you being here.
I just want to add one thing, if I'm allowed to do.
Please.
Yeah. So for the definition for the young, even the master of the doctor has done that thing very well. So Dr. Master asked that Dr. Naram that what you call a young. And then when Dr. shared the same thing, what you said, that it can be the teenage person. So Dr. Naram's master said that it can be the 70 years young and it can be a 20 years old.
Yeah.
It depends upon the flexibility, how the flexible you are. So his master used to see the patients, 70 to 80 patients at the age of the 150 years young. And he used to do the marma, more than 50 people. He should be the young. So I just want to add that part. And I really thankful to this community, because in this community, people share the love, care, everything so well. So I can say that we have the community of the young people. This community never be the old one. Everybody is young here. Everybody's enthusiasm is so best that people automatically gets healed by joining this call only. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Vinay. We're so honored to have you here. Thank you so much. So, let's see. I mean, I personally, before we go into breakout rooms, if we have time, anyone who went to Nepal that would like to just share with us, like anything, any little just anything. Share a little story from Nepal so we get a little taste of it. I'm sure we'll have more next time, but anybody who wants to do that, please do, because I know we're all anxious to hear how it went.
Okay, I guess that takes it to me, because from the list that I see here who's on the call today, I'm the only one at the moment who has actually been in Nepal. Just came back on Friday evening, and it was an absolutely life-changing experience. Meeting the children of the different homes. Again, particularly we met with Benita's children, and I personally had the absolute honor to celebrate my birthday with the children of Benita's home. And it was such an honor to be there, and the way they expressed their love to everyone coming to their house is just mind-blowing. And the same happened again when we met with the children of the Mountain Children Home that most of you are familiar with. The love that they are sharing and the care that they have for everyone. Like, we were hiking up to a waterfall, and it's not an easy hike because of the elevation of where you are already, and then it's a very steep climb. And I really needed help in order to get up there. And there was a young man helping me up. And he was looking out for me the whole time. And it was just such an amazing experience how they made, everyone of the kids made sure that their assigned person from the group was actually being able to get up there. So they were just showing a way of help, love, and care that I don't really see in the Western world. And they are always ready to share what they have. So we brought gifts to them, but then they wanted to share whatever they even got. Like, one of our participants in the group, he brought all these sweets. And so when they were distributing them, the kids, when they got it, the first thing they were doing were turning around and asking us if we wanted them, if we wanted of those sweets. And we said, no, we brought them for you. And still they kind of insisted that we also take them. And they're always looking to help other people around them and make sure that everyone is treated in a very beautiful way. For me, it was life-changing experience, as I mentioned, and I definitely will share more once I have digested everything that's happened, and that hasn't quite happened yet.
Yeah. Well, you just got back.
I just got back, and it was really, really amazing. So if anyone ever considers to go there, I can only recommend that you do that, because meeting these kids is really something else.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Beautiful.
You're welcome.
All right.
So are we ready for the
breakout rooms? Do we want to do for the view? And then I guess Robin's going to take us into our breakout rooms. Love you all. Thank you all for being here. Every one of you is a part of this whole.
Love you. You look
Love you, and I'm with
you and
you.
love you.
Love you.
Love you, and I'm with
Miss
you.
Love you.
Love you and
Love
I'm
you, and I'm
with
with
you.
you.
You and I with you.
Love you.
Love you and I'm with
Love
you.
you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Okay.